What is going on, everybody? This is BroncoJugggalo, and today I am doing another top 20 video for the 20 for 2020 for my Super Slash brothers, Jason and Joe. I will leave their links in the description box below. Guys, we're going to get right into this. This is favorite horror comedies, top 20, only one per franchise. Here we go. I'm going to do something, guys, that I've never done before. I'm going to show all of the movies with the exception of one because I don't own the one. So, starting off at number 20, we have Yoga Hosers. Coming in at number 19, we have my favorite Don Coscarelli film, Bubba Hotep. Coming in at number 18, we have the Todd Sheets film, Clownado. And at number 17, we have the movie Stitches. Now this is, as you can tell, the only movie I do not own. Coming in at number 16, we have An American Werewolf in London. Now some people will say, oh, this isn't a horror comedy. I think this movie is quite comedic. And I think, yes, it does lean a little more towards the horror, but it does have a lot of comedy aspects as well. Coming in at number 15, we have Carousel. This is the second Wild Eye movie to make this list. I really love this movie. It is absolutely hilarious. Coming in at number 14, we have Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Now, as Jason says, this movie is actually in this particular spot because I do think that of this as kind of a serious film that does have serious slasher at the end especially, but it is also a comedic film because of all the build-up and what he explains and all that. It's very comedic in that aspect. Number 13, we have Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Now, honestly, the only reason this one actually beat out Behind the Mask is because this one is more of a straight-up comedy than Behind the Mask. And I do like that in this particular ranking. This is the way it ranks. Number 12 is maybe the first film that some people are going to be like, that's just a comedy. That's not a horror film. Have you ever watched this movie? It's a slasher movie. It's got horrific kills. It's got dark and like crazy cult shit going on. This is a horror movie and it's a horror comedy. There's going to be a few on this list that you're going to be like, what the fuck? Coming up next, we have Freddy's Dead. Now, I don't have the case for this. I do, but it's actually out in the garage. This is when I was trying to downsize my space. I've got 3 coming up like this in this video. But Freddy's Dead, I know people shit all over this movie. I love this movie. Coming up next, we have the movie that my Slash brothers and I just watched on Friday. We have Jason X. This falls into the number 10 spot, and I think that's fitting. Jason X at number 10. And the final one to come in out of the garage. Not the movie, but the cases out there. In at number 9 is Leprechaun 3. Now, these rotate a lot, but at the moment, this is my current favorite Leprechaun film, so that's why it's at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is a movie you may say, well, that's more of a comedy. Well, it's about ghosts, supernatural hauntings, exterminating ghosts. It has some pretty, scary bits in it, especially for kids. It is a family movie, basically, but it's also kind of an adult film as well. And it makes this list because it's Ghostbusters, and I fucking say so. And all the things I said about Ghostbusters apply to this one as well. It's Beetlejuice. It makes the fucking list. It is number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Horror's right in the title, guys. This is a tribute to horror movies, old school horror movies. It is a tribute to space sci-fi movies. It is a tribute to rock and roll. And it is a fun and awesome horror comedy. There is kills in this. There is blood and guts. So yes, there is even cannibalism. This is a horror comedy movie. Definitely. We are at the top 5 now, guys, and we have Bride of Chucky. Yes, Bride of Chucky is my number 5. I really do love this movie. Some of the Chucky movies are more comedic than others. This one was the perfect balance, in my opinion. Seed of Chucky took it too far. This one is a thrill ride from start to finish, and it just keeps going. Love Bride of Chucky. I think that a lot of people say Cult is also a comedy. It is comedic elements. All of these films do. But I thought Cult was more serious than this one. That's just me. Coming in at number 4 is Shaun of the Dead. Now, what's that I'm hearing you say? Well, you already showed Hot Fuzz. You're not supposed to put more than one in a franchise. This and Shaun of the Dead are not part of a franchise, whether people like to think so or not. The Cornetto trilogy is not an official title. It is just something that the director came up with because they noticed that Cornetto ice cream was in all of the movies. That is all. It's not an official trilogy. It's not a sequel or a prequel or anything else of any of the other films. Coming in at number 3, we have Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yet another one you may say is more comedy than horror. But come on, this is based off of a horror film. It's based off the Universal, the Hammer, and even the Bram Stoker Draculas. It pokes fun at all three, and it's going to be on my list. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I love it. Get used to it. Mel Brooks rules. Number 2 is one of my absolute favorite all-time movies. It is Army of Darkness. And I just wanted to show off this nice, cool, glow-in-the-dark gray and green slipcase again. I think it's awesome. You can't beat Army of Darkness for horror comedy. You really can't. There's only one movie out there that can beat it, and it's coming in at my number 1. And that is Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein. Not only is it the best horror comedy of all time, it is the best comedy of all time. It says so right on the cover. And that's not Mel Brooks putting it on there either. This is widely considered the greatest comedy ever made, and I agree. It is based very much on the Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein from Universal, and it is amazing. If you've never seen this movie, you definitely need to. Guys, that is it for my top 20 list. I hope you all enjoyed. This is BroncoJugggalo saying peace.
I gripped the small town stage, come alive while the music plays. And I'ma let this dream take me in.